is we're going to go through a Dave Ramsey video because he didn't talk about the State of the Union because frankly he's a conservative and he doesn't like Biden. And Biden nailed the State of the Union, so that would just be embarrassing for him. But what he does talk about is they did the Secure Act 2.0, or the Secure 2.0 Act is what it's called. Anyway, the deal about this was a bipartisan bill that passed, and it's changed a lot about how retirement savings and retirement accounts work. And we're going to go through some of this together. We're probably going to, oddly enough, agree with Ramsey on a lot of this stuff for the first time in this show's history. We're not going to totally agree, but we'll probably generally agree because this is pretty good just in general for the average person. So.
Next, this has been one of some hot debate. Employers can match your student loan payments with retirement contributions.
It's confusing.
Yes.
So it sounds like they're paying your student loans. Now, some employers are now offering a benefit that has nothing to do with this, just where they will help you pay your student loans off, one way or another, whatever it is. They'll match you, they'll do whatever. It has nothing to do with anything as far as this stuff goes. This is not that. This is you pay up to $3,000 on your student loan, and your employer puts up to $3,000 into your 401k. Which doesn't. It's just
wouldn't that incentivize you to never pay off your student loans?
We want you to eat apples, so we're going to chop more.
All right, so this is. Oh man.
Okay, I'm going to admit that one is kind of weird in the idea of how it operates because it's matching you in a totally different place. However, I have to say, any situation where me doing the behavior that I need to be doing translates into my employer giving me more money in some way, I like.
So here's what that issue is, and it's really not that complicated. So like I have friends who do, they've done nursing or they're a physician's assistant or something like that, or a doctor. And hospitals have deals where if you come and you work for them, as a doctor or nurse or whatever, and you stay for whatever, 5 years, whatever it is, they'll pay half your student loans off. And the reason is because they get to deduct all that money from the government. So for them, it is not a huge cost for them to pay off half your student loans. And it's an incentive to get you to come and stay, right? Now, I have a master's in finance, which is a specialized business degree. If I go work for a company, you know what they're not going to do? If I stay 5 years, they're not going to pay off half my student loans. Why? Because they don't get any incentive for doing that. There is no kickback. It only applies to certain things like hospitals or things that have government subsidies, right? That get those. So this is a way for them to get the kickback because now they can go, well, wait a minute, Duncan, how much we'll help you with this. We want you to stay. To incentivize you to stay, how much did you pay this year in student loans? And I'd be like, well, I paid $6,000 in student loans this year. And they can be like, okay, well, we'll match that and put that same $6,000 in your 401k, right? We get to take the deduction as the business, and you didn't really pay $6,000 because it's in your 401k now. It's almost like you didn't pay student loans. You just put that in your 401k. So all we did was slide a card between this hand to that hand and put it in your fucking 401k. I don't see what the fucking problem with this is. I think this is great. It's a great idea.
Hey, like I said, I mean, it is a little confusing in how it's presented, but I mean, essentially, they're giving you more free money, and that seems like that's a win. So,
and it's a deduction. Yeah. It's a deduction for the business,
right?
I mean, if I can deduct it as essentially as employee pay, I don't pay tax on any of that. That's free money as far as I'm concerned as a business owner. And if that means I can retain somebody who has a graduate degree, who I normally would have a hard time retaining. Of course, as a company, I'm going to love this, right? Because I want to get that guy, Steve, who's got the master's degree and he's just awesome and he's great. right? And I want to retain him. Here's a good program to help me do that. Right? And I get a deduction. So this is, I mean, I think that one's just kind of a win-win. And I know it sounds a little complicated. It's not something you as an individual have to worry about, though. It's something a business owner has to worry about. Do I want to do this? Because it's not like you're making that decision. Your boss, your company's making that decision, whoever it is, right? But I'm telling you right now, as a business owner, I love it, man. I'm all for it. I'll take that deduction every day of the week.
Oranges. It's just weird. You mix these things up, and people are getting confused about it already. They think it means the government's going to pay part of your student, or the employer's going to pay part of your student loan and match you on what you're putting on your student loan. They're not. They have to put it in the 401k. So it's weird.
Well, because
anything that gets more money.
But this doesn't, once again, this is not something you need to worry about. This is something your employer deals with. Most of this bill puts it on the employer. This is not something you, the individual, have to worry about as much.
Against your student loan, it causes you to do that, anything that gets more money into your retirement. I'm for all of that, but this is just convoluted and weird.
Well, wouldn't you be pissed if you already paid off your student loans or didn't have any, and Joe Schmo's next to you is getting an extra $3,000 in his 401k?
It's a benefit, though. That's your employer offering a benefit. The employer's not required to offer this benefit.
I'm curious to see how many employers do this.
Yeah, I don't think they'll. Well, you never know.
You know?